Greetings everybody and welcome to G4G here on YouTube. Today we're talking about World of Warcraft Classic. And we're talking about the fact that there has been a group arising dedicated to helping people not get on realms with streamers. So I wanted to kind of signal boost this a little bit and share my thoughts on the matter and kind of discuss the pros and cons of something like this. And I will basically tell you right now, I have no horse in this race whatsoever. I have literally no stake in this dogfight, as I don't really plan to be playing Classic. Ergo, if I'm not going to be playing Classic, I'm not going to be streaming Classic. That is, as of this point in time here in August, that isn't to say it could potentially change at some point in the future, but my honest stance is this. Classic WoW being not a reimagining of vanilla the way the new Final Fantasy VII is a reimagining of the original Final Fantasy VII, but sort of a continuation of vanilla. I played the beta. I played vanilla. I ran a guild in vanilla. I was a GM. I was a raid leader. I was a main tank. I had a shaman, a hunter, a warlock, my main druid bear, a warrior. I definitely did it all. Many of my toons even saw raids. My warlock was known for going into AQ20 and to drain the mana of Mome. In that fight, I was using a hunter to sting the mana off of the tiger fight in ZG and everything. I pretty much did it all, even though my main was a guardian druid. The way that I view Classic at this point in time is similar to what I would view my college town. And it's kind of ironic that I would actually sort of investigate my college town today when I knew that I was going to be doing a video on this subject when I got home. I looked at my college town today, which is a country town. It is in the foothills of a valley of two mountain ranges, basically. And for somebody who grew up on Long Island and has generally been used to suburban living, not country or rural living, I wouldn't have wanted to stay in my college town. My career path would not have really gotten me much in that town. So I was happening to look at it today, including aspects of my college that I've not seen in a long time. And yeah, I would like to go back to my college town and spend a day checking out what things have changed. I looked at the apartment complex I stayed at for my senior and a half year, and I just was like, I kept looking at these pictures compared to what I remember, and these pictures of that complex now in its modern day, and I just kept saying, what the fuck? Holy shit, you're kidding me. This thing looks like like the office looks like a goddamn Red Robin at this place. I'm like, my god, this pool? We didn't have this fucking pool. Like, this was my, like, I'm looking at a model of the apartment. I'm like, holy shit, my apartment didn't look that nice, but I wouldn't want to go back and live there. I don't care what accommodations change. I wouldn't want to go back to my college town. And that's how I feel about Classic. So there's Classic and Vanilla. And to me in this video, Vanilla is what it existed back in 2004 and 2005 and 6. And Classic is the new version that's coming out in about a month or so. So I wouldn't mind stepping back into Classic to see the world, the pre-Cataclysm world again. I wouldn't mind hitting up some of the dungeons that you can't hit in their classic way under the modern age. I wouldn't mind doing a single run of Skolamance, Undead Stratholme, Fuck Life Stratholme, Ubers, Elbers, maybe BRD. BRD is just so penis-clenchingly bad. Old Van Cleef VC, and I don't call it DM because DM belongs to Dire Maul, even though DM belonged to Dead Minds first. We all kind of call it VC for Van Cleef. You know, God, almost every one of the dungeons has changed since vanilla. Ragefire has changed. Wailing Caverns has changed. You almost couldn't make that jump in vanilla on that ramp. The BFD maybe has changed a little bit. I don't think it's changed a hell of a lot, but the Moradon instances have changed. Um, Live and Undead Strath have changed. Skullomance has changed. Ubers, Elbers, I mean, they've all gone. Fucking Sunken Temple, like a whole level of Sunken Temple's gone. Zulfaric has changed. You know, I wouldn't mind doing a tribute run in North Dire Mall. I wouldn't mind doing all the Dire Malls at least once. Sunken Temple doing the basement part that nobody ever wanted to do, even when it was a thing, once. The 100 Troll event in Zulfaric. I wouldn't mind seeing, will they scale the world through Vanilla's time the way they are with the raids and the dungeons. So they've come out and said, yes, it's going to be the patch that was very, very close to TBC. It wasn't going to be, I don't think it's the pre-TBC patch, obviously, because there won't be a pre-TBC event. But I think it's the patch right before the pre-TBC stuff hit. Now, they've said that the raids will roll out slowly. Like, you will start with the Molten Core, and then eventually Onyxia will be there, and then you'll have the Blackwing Lair, and then the AQs, the next Rambus, so on and so forth. I'm curious if the world will reflect that too. Like, is Dire Maul going to be available right at launch? Will Silithus... Now, a lot of people forgot this. Early on in vanilla, Silithus was the armpit of the asshole of World of Warcraft. It was nothing. It was like stepping into the... like being chucked out of a helicopter in the middle of Sahara. There was nothing there, maybe minus one or two, a noob saith running around, and it was awe-inspiring. You come up that hill from Angoro, and you go into Silithus, and you're like, Jesus Christ, what's going on here? And then you see that first 50,000 foot tall noob saith just tromping by, and you're like, shit! And, you know, then it got worked into the zone that would eventually house the AQs, and then, of course, there was the opening events, and the Silithus PvP thing, and then the Plaguelands would get tower crapping and everything. So it'd be interesting to say if the world reflects early vanilla and then progresses similar to the way the raids do. Like Jintha Alor was an elite-only area. You really had to have a full group to go in there, and then I think they eventually nerfed it so that it could be soloable, but I don't remember if that got nerfed in vanilla. Like, if at the end, what would happen? Another reason why I don't want to live on Classic is like the gold. People forget what it was like to get their first mount at 40, and then the epic mount at 60 almost required the services of a gold selling company. And that's another question. Are gold sellers going to make a comeback? What are the auction houses going to look like? I've read an article today that the sharding is really bad in the beta. These main capital cities look like crickets. It's just... because, like, the sharding is bad, but they said that's just a test. When it's live, it'll be better. But, so you have this Icy Veins group here, this Icy Veins post on Facebook, and then I'll show you more later, that say how to avoid streamers in WoW Classic. It's going to be a database of where streamers are going to be, and then how to roll on servers where they don't exist. Now, other than the fact that it seems like Asmongold is going over to Classic, I can't really imagine what would be so bad about it. I mean, I liked one video of Asmongold, and that was back in MOP, and it was him talking about was it Siege? I think it was Siege of Ugramar, where he was like, no, was it Siege? Inside, yeah, it was Siege, and he was talking about like doing big dick DPS. Got to do big dick DPS. Like, see this black puddle I'm standing in? Your healers will thank you for standing in there. They're bored at this part of the game. They want something to do. You got to do the big dick DPS. And that one was funny, but he looked like a guy that I just would not enjoy in the long run. And anytime I see his face on a thumbnail when YouTube is like, Asmongold reacts to him shitting his pants, I'm like, you know, he's got the face of a guy that I don't particularly want to watch a lot of his videos. Maybe he does straight up legitimate content, but I don't really know because I don't watch him that much anymore compared to like Beluler and um, Heels vs Babyface, and there's a lot of other people that I tend to watch more frequently for WoW content. Even the guy and the girl with the British accent, Taliesin and whatever his name is. My girlfriend and I often sit at dinner and watch YouTube videos on WoW, whatever's going on in gaming at the time. But Asmongold is just not usually common fare around here. I can imagine wanting to avoid him, but like this post here, thank you. I hate all these narcissistic children just trying to get attention. Bitch, these people are getting paid. Like, this is their job. Most of them are doing this for a living. They have, like, an esports person is like dropped out of college and like, oh, I'm gonna go get paid to shoot people in CS:GO and then gamble on their skins. Um, this is an intense reaction that I think is quite unfair. I mean, I've streamed before. I've streamed Marvel Avengers Alliance. I've streamed WoW raids and everything like that. Not every... In this day and age, somebody who plays WoW and somebody who is going to go into Classic isn't going to be a fucking child. Like, that's the end of it all right there. In 2004 and 2005, you had kids playing WoW, and they usually played rogues. Sorry to say, that was my experience. You can call me classist if you want, but in my guild, on the Horde, most of the freaking juvenile idiots were rogues. Sorry to say, fact for me. Maybe different for you, fact for me. They made a comeback playing Death Knights and Wrath, but the original kids were rogues. So I think this is just a stupidly harsh reaction over here, and the person below it saying what a limited server selection, you're not going to have much choice. That's wise, but I hate all these narcissistic children. A lot of these people do things for the good of community. I'm not saying like an Asmongold or somebody who pops around to the game du jour, but there were some comments about like, you know, so this is an Asmongold thing, like please get me to the Asmon layer, blah blah blah. Yeah, that's ridiculous, and that is childish, and that's up to the streamer to represent a better crowd. And here Soda Poppin is saying, because I'm going to do both sides of this, Soda Poppin saying that they're going to be playing on Faralina, not Herod, and he says he's not sure where Asmongold is playing, but he names a couple of others. And let's see, for those wondering, Greek God X will be taking out the entire Horde side of Herod. Here is Defran from Overwatch fame. This is an esports player right over here. This isn't a kid. This is a guy who got paid to travel around the country, perhaps even internationally. It was known as a great tank in Overwatch. It's like my community of 4,445 followers, 445,000 followers are going to be playing on Herod. We're all going to make priests, and our mission will be to literally mind control all of you and make Red Ridge Mountains unplayable. Have fun, good luck. I mean, yeah, okay, that seems a little childish, but of course that's a joke. That is a definite jab over there. I just don't think people need to be afraid of streamers, and somewhere in one of these, they made the comment about Scarab Lords. So if you don't know what a Scarab Lord is a Scarab Lord is somebody who forges the Scepter of the Sands that opens the gate of AQ. My server, Bloodhoof, back in the day was 23 or 24 among all the servers. We weren't super high, but we weren't low. We kind of upper middle of the pack. And I was at my gate when it opened, and our Scarab Lord is a member of Fury of War on the Alliance side. It's either Warrior or Clenazel. I don't remember who, but it was one of those two. And it was a huge thing. I can remember being at it. I can remember it lagging like fuck. I used to have pictures of it. Unfortunately, it was in a server hosting company, my only copy, and when that server hosting company went away in the middle of the night, I lost a lot of early WoW pictures. The saddest thing that I could almost cry over is that my original 10 charter signers of my guild who had come over from other games that we were playing, mostly FPSs like UT99, 2K4, we had our 10 charter signers take a big group picture at the inn and crossroads, and that picture is gone. Imagine your guild still existing 14, 15 years later. You're still in place as the original GM. You have the statue saying you played 10 years straight without missing a payment, and you have some members that go back to vanilla and some that are even resurfacing. To know that you had that like slow jazz, cowboy bebop, sepia toned kind of picture out there of here was our 10 people and some of these are still here. It's really disgustingly awful that I don't have that picture anymore. But you know, with the AQ40 opening and everything in the Scarab Lord, it gives you the one bug mount that you could actually take outside of AQ, and that's still true to this day, other than the archaeology one. People going for Scarab Lord, let me tell you, here, Scarab Lord is a long journey with challenging world encounters and raid progression. Don't believe too many streamers will be in the race for that unless they are in a really good raiding guild with good relations to other raiding guilds on their server. This is an extremely wise comment over here. First of all, if Blizzard got behind a first in the world classic Scarab Lord race, that would be amazing, and that might be almost as important as Mythic Jaina, Mythic Queen Ass Naga, and everything like that. It could be a lot of hype, and it would be hype that you know would be coming because you would know when the event started to start doing the donations and everything like that. You could have daily updates on what server is winning. People might take up after a favorite streamer and be like, okay, so Soda Poppin's on Faralina. I want to help Soda Poppin win. I'm going to make a character in Faralina and kill boars. Thousands of boars, Cartman. And turn in meat and make that server #1. Yeah, that may happen, but there could be a lot of hype in that, and it's going to be hard to stream exactly because unlike killing a boss that you know is at the end of an instance, you don't know if you'll get all the drops and everything for this, and it's so involved to become a Scarab Lord. But down the stretch, when you maybe have a tight race between 1, 2, or 3 of them, I think it could be a huge deal and a great boon for Blizzard, a great boon for the classic community, and Warcraft in general. Heroes of the Storm is still somewhat under development, but not really. StarCraft is gone. People say Overwatch is a dead game, but I disagree. Like, Blizzard needs this to retain their Blizzardness in the light of being shoved so far up to Activision's asshole, you can't separate the two of them anymore. So, avoiding streamers, if you want to do that, that's fine. It's within your prerogative. You can go to Icy Veins. You know, here's the post about it. You can go to Icy Veins on their own forums. If you want to find streamers, you have some like Soda Poppin talk about it and others. But if you have a streamer that is dedicated to being Scarab Lord and sort of getting world firsts again, like a world first classic Ragnaros, or Nefarian, or Naxxramas, Kel'Thuzad, AQ20, AQ40, twins, god, fucking twin emperors for people, getting past the guild killer that was Queen Hoo-Hoo, doing all of AQ40 and getting up to Cthulhu and having him not be bugged, unlike the way he was when he first released in AQ40, where mathematically he was impossible to kill. Streamers could be like this one person says, streamers are an ad for the game. You know, you're a free ad, you give them a key to the beta, they reach people. It's exactly like when Blizzard paid to use Ozzy Osbourne, Chuck Norris, William Shatner, Mr. T, this is my mohawk, grenade. This is my night elf mohawk, and we had the mohawk grenades in game. They tied a game thing to that commercial. We had pets. We had Mountain Dew warbots that you filled with red and green Mountain Dew to make them fight each other, and green would fight red. You had William Shatner saying he was a Tauren shaman, and Chuck Norris, I think, was a human. And of course the Chuck Norris jokes and the Barons and everything. This could be a huge boon to have named streamers getting involved in Classic if they see it all the way through. If they proceed through the content and they are getting into the raids, and you're maybe getting to relive raids you don't want to do again because you hated them in the first place. I think of Molten Core as a sweaty shit pit. Obviously heat is not coming from my computer, but I hated Molten Core, and then I loved ZG, and I loved AQ20. Even Onyxia was very, very challenging, but at the same time pretty good. To these people, if they want to be involved in roping up 39 other sheep that need to be nipped at the heels by little fucking corgis, we're not in a world where we do 40-man raids anymore, and it's gonna be tough to do that stuff. But there is a lot of good that streamers can bring to Classic WoW when it comes out, that in all honesty didn't really exist in vanilla. You didn't have YouTube and Twitch the way that you did in vanilla. I mean, maybe you had Justin TV, but let's see, YouTube, you had WoW Machinima and maybe WoW Move. Okay, February 14th, 2005. So that is 3 or so months after vanilla started. So vanilla started around Thanksgiving 2004, and there was the beta. But I don't think World of Warcraft had that big of a thing on YouTube at the time. And of course it would be shitty fraps videos. Mostly it was PvP videos with let the bodies hit the floor, and it involved rogues ganking and Warsong Gulch and stuff. But let's see. Justin TV start date. Alright, close. 2006, San Francisco. Yeah, alright, that's still vanilla in 2006, because 2007, let's see, 2007, it was in yeah, it's very close to the end of vanilla, because I know where I was in 2007, and it was in May of 2007 was Karazhan, so TBC was definitely out at that point. Let's see, TBC launch date. Alright. Yeah, okay. January 16th, 2007. So, there wasn't really much of a streaming platform for vanilla. And to have the chance of it change in Classic, you know, really could be a good boon for it. So, if you want to avoid streamers, you can. If you want to find some streamers, again, here's Soda Poppin's Twitter. He's saying he's on Farolina, and it looks like he's listing some others that are going to be there. But, you know, I just think people should find the server that they want to be on, be it RP or PvP or PvE or Dumb Donkey Furries or something like that. Transgender orcs. Whatever you want to do for your Classic experience, you do it. And do know that I would imagine for the most part, you're not going to get the quote-unquote kids in Classic the way you did in Vanilla. And I certainly guarantee that 98 to 95% of the population that plays Classic is going to know what they're doing. The chance of some 13-year-old rolling into Classic the way that they could have in Vanilla, I just don't imagine it happening. They're probably all playing Fortnite at this point in time, and they're probably all trying to get a Thanos skin or something like that. I would say PUBG, but it seems Fortnite has absolutely killed PUBG at this point. So, yeah, chances are the kids aren't going to go for Classic. It's either going to be nostalgia people, like potentially myself, or people who came to WoW post-Cata and can't experience vanilla, or maybe even hit WoW in Wrath, maybe, and just blew through vanilla content too quickly. TBC were probably still very well steeped in vanilla and got a good vanilla experience, but by Wrath, you probably breezed through vanilla. So I would really say post-Cata people or nostalgia people. The chance of an actual fully new, never touched WoW person showing up in Classic, I think is slim, and the chance of them being under 18, I super think is slim, but, you know, we'll see the stats. Anyway, that's my take on it, guys. I'll provide links in the video description if you guys want to read these forums and everything, and if you want to avoid streamers or find out where some are, the information will be out there. Thanks for checking out the video, everybody. Have a good one.